1972, May 21 to 27. A constitutional convention was held at the Ellenwood Malate Church to revise the UCCP Constitution. On the succeeding week, the General Assembly approved the proposed draft and referred it to the conferences for ratification. Because of the imminent withdrawal of foreign subsidies, the General Assembly abolished the national divisions and placed the operation and implementation of these programs in the offices of the jurisdictions. At the same time, the at least 1 million peso fund campaign aimed at generating local resources was launched. Bishop Estanislao Q. Abainza was elected General Secretary.
As of the 21st of this month,
September 21, President Ferdinand E. Marcos declared martial law to save the Republic and to build a new society. 1973, the conferences during their annual sessions ratified the UCCP Constitution and bylaws. 1974, the General Assembly held in Cebu City proclaimed the ratification and effectivity of the UCCP Constitution and bylaws. The new UCCP Charter provided for the holding of a quadrennial General Assembly, making Cebu as the first quadrennial assembly. The bishops were to be elected by the jurisdictional conventions but proclaimed by the General Assembly or its executive committee. Dr. Eliezer D. Mapana was the first chairperson elected under this new setup. Other significant decisions in the General Assembly session were the declaration of a moratorium in receiving foreign missionaries. It declared the self-reliant stance of the United Church. The at least 1 million pesos fund campaign was substituted with a self-reliance program fund campaign geared to raise at least 5 million pesos for 5 years. It approved a statement of concern on the deteriorating socio-economic and political situation in the country resulting from the declaration of martial law. The insurance and retirement program was launched. 1978. The General Assembly in Cagayan de Oro City reiterated the UCCP's position on martial law and denounced the escalating incidents of human rights violations, that this body is against the perpetuation of a one-man rule in the country, that it is for the restoration of all the civil and political liberties of its citizens, and that it is for the immediate implementation of the nationally coordinated programs. The first to be created was the Human Rights Desk and the Christian Muslim Desk, which was later changed to the Justice, Peace, and Human Rights Desk and the Christian Muslim and Tribal Filipinos Desk, respectively. The Faith and Order Committee was formed to work on the formulation of a statement of faith for the UCCP. 1981, Bishop Marciano Quiocho was designated acting General Secretary and served up to 1982. 1982. The General Assembly, held in Malolos, Bulacan, approved evangelism and church growth as priority program for the quadrennium. It called for the establishment of 2,000 new local churches and congregations by the year 2000. The draft of the Statement of Faith was approved for dissemination to the various conferences for study, comment, and approval. The General Assembly created a new program desk, the Commission on Christian Education. Bishop Mercurio M. Serina was elected General Secretary. 1983, August 21. Senator Benigno Aquino Jr. was killed at the Manila International Airport upon his arrival from a 3-year self-exile in the United States. His death sparked a series of protest actions from the citizenry. 1984. new desks created through Executive Committee actions were the Development and Services Desk and the Mission and Evangelism Desk. 1986, February 22 to 25. What is now known as People's Power Revolution ended the 20-year rule of President Ferdinand E. Marcos and installed to the presidency Mrs. Corazon C. Aquino.
Someone I am is waiting for courage. The one I want.
March 18. The UCCP Council of Bishops issued a statement protesting the interventionist policies of the United States in the economic, political, and cultural life of the Filipino people. It called for the non-renewal of the military basis agreement between the Philippines and the United States when it expires in 1991. On August 21, the Council of Bishops issued a statement, Peacemaking, Our Ministry, calling the UCCP constituency to join hands with the people of the world in the common quest for peace based on justice and to follow the example of Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. The General Assembly held in Quezon City approved the UCCP Statement of Faith. It adopted the theme The Church for the Life of the World and mandated the General Secretariat to come up with a programmatic expression of the said theme. Bishop Herme R. Camba was elected General Secretary. 1987. Implementing the General Assembly mandate for a thorough study and evaluation of the UCCP's organizational structures and for the streamlining of its operations, a series of consultations were held, resulting in the initial clustering of the UCCP's programs into three areas: education and nurture, stewardship, and witness and service. Like a mustard seed, a book of commentaries on the UCCP Statement of Faith was launched as part of a church-wide study for the UCCP Statement of Faith. October 30. In a moderator's consultation, 34 moderators, 4 jurisdictional bishops, national and jurisdictional program coordinators, and other national officers of the UCCP wrote an open letter addressed to President Corazon Aquino, the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, the Cabinet and military officials, expressing concern over the widespread poverty of the people, the worsening political crisis, at the same time pointing to the increasing involvement of the people for change as a sign of hope. (1988) May 22. The United Church of Christ in the Philippines commemorated the 40th anniversary of its founding with a worship service of thanksgiving held at the Ellinwood Malate Church, the site of its founding assembly. 2 major programs were launched during the Thanksgiving worship: the 2000 by the year 2000 and the Second Mile Giving program. For God's enabling power that has made the Church capable to respond to Christ's call for unity, and for God's continuing guidance and inspiration for the deepening of the bonds of common Christian fellowship, for God's companionship in this pilgrimage of obedience and discipleship that has been shown through the Church's life and ministry as a uniting Church despite all the barriers that have been encountered along the way, for the empowerment we all have received to love God and to serve the neighbor, subservient to no one but Christ our Lord, and servant of all, most specially to the least of the people.